What's good, YON Dons? Welcome to episode 19 of the YON Alright, listen here. I hope that you're having a great day. The day has just kind of started for me. I got a few things planned, so I'm going to vlog right after this. But like I said, hope that you're having a great day today. Today is Saturday. I hope that the weekend does something good to you, does something good for you. I hope that you have time to wind down, relax, kick it with some family, some friends. Make sure you praise on the Lord's day tomorrow, and just continue to have a great day today. Live in the moment, take some self-care, self-awareness, and be the best version of yourself. What we're talking about today, we're going to be talking about insecurity, right? And so I'm going to give you the definition. Insecurity is the uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, lack of confidence, the state of being open to danger or threat, and lack of protection. So just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, my first time experiencing insecurity, like lifelong, like longevity-wise, this is like a lifelong experience that I probably will never let go of. So back in middle school, he probably doesn't even remember this, but back in like 7th grade, I was playing football, and it was one day after practice. I was waiting on a ride to come pick me up, and my boy at the time, his name was Anthony. I'm not gonna put his full name out there, but Anthony, I used to call him Anthony Dorito. And so me and Anthony were sitting there, and it was just me and him. Nobody else outside waiting on the rides. And I had a cutoff, some shorts on, and it was just a regular day right after practice. This man sees me. He's like, yo, man, Josh, you are so skinny. Like, he just kept going in. He's like, yo, you are so skinny. Yo, have you lost weight? Like, you need a burger. You need to add some pounds. Like, you look starved, and your legs look so skinny. Your arms are skinny. I can see your ribs. Like, he was going in on the way I looked. And, like, from that point on, like, till this day, I still think about that. But that affected me to, like, points unknown. I don't think he realized, like, what he did in that moment. But I've never been insecure about, like, any of those stuff or any of those things until that point. Like, I used to wear cutoffs all the time when I was a kid and stuff. And so, like, that moment that he had said that, bro, it rubbed me the wrong way. And it was like an insecurity was awoken. And I don't know if this is like that for everybody, but I believe that insecurity is awoken once we are aware that it's a problem or a problem to others, right? Because it was never a problem to me, the fact that I was skinny. And it was never like a defect. It was never something that was a downside. Like, I always had abs. Granted, they were like skinny boy abs, but I've always had them. And in that moment, he had said that, and I was like, wow. So after that, I like never wanted to wear shorts. After that, I never wanted to wear cutoffs. Like, I like just started wearing cutoffs, I would say, like when I started working out, really. And honestly, when I started working out was when I started wearing cutoffs. I'm gonna be just honest with you, I am insecure about my legs. Like, that is like probably, just to be honest, top tier insecurities, my teeth, my legs. I do struggle with like body dysmorphia, and I feel like there's a few more, but I'm working on them, so it's not bad. But anyways, that's like kind of a background story as far as with my insecurities. Like, I've struggled with it before, but that's because like other people have brought that out of me. Like, before I was never insecure about it, because like, why would I be insecure about it? Insecurities can be either mentally or physically. As far as like for me, I was physically insecure. I was insecure about the things the way that I looked, the way that I looked towards people, my appearance. It could be something where it's mentally insecure. And so when I think about mental insecurity, that can also come from something like a past trauma, or like, say if you were in a relationship and somebody cheated on you, now you have insecurity as far as like, it can be brought up through jealousy, or it can be brought up through trust issues. You feel like you got to text the person all the time. You feel like you have to be around that person all the time because Johnny from back in the day had hurt you in the past, and so now you got Steve, and Steve is scared that you are being overprotective, but your overprotection is coming from jealousy, which was an insecurity that was risen from somebody that cheated on you in the past. So insecurity can have different faces, but it still has the same perception and the same look. It can lead to relationships being broken. It can lead to friendships being unmendable. And it's just because of like having past traumas or having mistakes where it's like when your insecurity is risen and bred through somebody that has hurt you or somebody that's done you wrong in the past, or like whether it's your image, then it's like it affects everything else. Because now you see yourself as, I'm too skinny or I'm too fat, and you find that person that wants to be with you because they love you for who you are. But then when you walk past somebody that is skinnier than you, or when you walk past somebody that looks better than you, you think that they're thinking, oh wow, I wish I had that, or I wish I was with that person, or they look way better, yada yada. The reason that insecurity shouldn't develop itself to be ugly is because you can use your insecurity as fuel. So for me, whenever I went through my insecurities, obviously like I was still playing sports and stuff like that, but 3-4 years ago when I started working out, that was when those insecurities started to break its shell. I started to realize like, I can change my insecurities. I don't always have to be this. Like, I don't have to be identified as what I don't like about myself. And so instead of living in my insecurity, instead of letting that be my identity, I figured I might as well change what I don't like about myself. And so luckily it was a physical thing for me. And so since it was a physical thing, I was able to go to the gym. And like later on down the line, I do want to get something like braces or Invisalign so that way I can fix my teeth. But like I want to do things that will make me feel better about myself. And so your insecurities can be motivating. Your insecurities can be something that is changed, or it can be something that is altered. And so with insecurity, we see it as weakness, but it can also be a strength. And the thing about your weaknesses and your strengths is when you have a weakness, you can make those into something stronger. But the thing about your strengths are who you are. And so the things that you have that are founded in you and make you who you are, and if you have a strength of communication, then build on that. Let's say you're a dry texter, but you're somebody like me that's like a great communicator, right? So if you're a dry texter, but you can capitalize when you're in person, then the way to see that as a weakness, or the way that you would view that as a weakness, would be the fact that you aren't so good at texting. But you would be a strength as far as like the way you communicate when you see somebody in person. So rather than talking all the time on the phone, you would reach out to people and say, hey, let's hang out. So you would capitalize on that strength rather than using your weakness as a crutch. Because some people would text you and be like, yo, this guy sucks, or this girl sucks. But then they see you in person and be like, you're amazing. So instead of letting your way of weakness limiting you, you would rather use your strength to build you. And so the beauty about how you find your insecurities are the fact that like when you see them, you're able to be more self-aware towards what's going on with you. So for me, like I had to be aware of the fact that like, let's say in the past, I've had trust issues, or I have trust issues, period, because of the things that have happened to me in the past. And so like I had a relationship back in the day where I was really insecure in that relationship because I wasn't secure in myself. Like I wasn't working out or anything like that. I stopped playing football and stuff. And like we were a good relationship, but it felt like I wasn't the best looking guy, or I didn't feel like I was the best guy, period. And so with that, I was more or less like the type of person that was jealous all the time, that felt intimidated whenever I saw somebody that I thought was better looking than me. And like she would reassure me and everything, but it would still not be enough. And so then I'd want to fix her clothes the way she looked, or I'd want to be around her all the time to make sure she wasn't with another guy. And I would want to text her all the time to make sure that she wasn't texting somebody else. Like all this other stuff that I had insecure in myself, I was breeding it into the relationship. And so that caused so many problems in the relationship because I was insecure in myself, because I was a jealous person, because I was hurt in the past, or because I didn't want other people to see her because I was insecure about the way I looked. And so like because of situations of like being cheated on or being insecure or being jealous and stuff like that, all of the things that have happened like to me personally in the past have made me the person that I am today. And I would say like the biggest thing that all those insecurities have built up is like trust issues with others and not being able to be super open with other people. And so there's a lot of downside that comes from insecurity that isn't brought up and that isn't like aware, that you're not aware of. So I had to be self-aware as far as the pains that I've been through in the past, or the things that have hurt me in the past, the things that have done me wrong in the past, or the people that have hurt me, and the things that have made the shell of my heart harder to get into. And so when it comes to the things that you're going through or the insecurities that you have in your life, you need to be able to be self-aware so that way you can address those things head on. Your insecurities don't need to be your identity. Your insecurities don't need to limit your way of life. And your insecurities don't need to be who you are as a person. Let those insecurities not be a reflection of who you are, but be a thing of the past and show that that was who you were, and who you are now is far greater than anything that you would ever have been in the past. Ways to identify the insecurity in you and to be self-aware is to ask yourself questions, like on a daily basis. How are you feeling today? What are the things that are motivating me? What's something that is pushing me to be a better person? Or what's wrong? Genuinely ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this, and this whenever I talk to this person? Why do I feel jealous whenever I hear this person's name? Or why do I feel insecure whenever I see this person looking a certain way? Or why are they looking at me like that? Like ask yourself certain questions so that way you can find the resolution in yourself. Why do I feel like this whenever Johnny does that? Or why do I feel like I have to wear this, and this in order to not have certain people say this? Or why do I have to feel like this in order to make other people satisfied around me? So when it comes to your insecurity, like I said before, insecurity 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, is bred through other people's opinion on you. And so whenever you're confident in yourself, your insecurity will go out of the window. So for me, when I was confident in myself, and I'm building that confidence up even now, whenever I'm building up that confidence in myself, I'll be able to say, it doesn't matter what other people think. Or my image on myself is far greater than anybody else's image on myself. So I don't need to worry about what other people think. I don't need to worry about other people because I'm not insecure because I'm so secure in myself. My insecurities are now beneficial because they fueled me to be a better person. So that's the way you need to take it, is be self-aware so that way you can develop your self-care, and develop your self-care so you can develop your self-love. And in return to all of that, it'll wash away the insecurities because you're so secure in yourself now. We see our insecurities as a problem or as a downfall, but really our downfalls are our greatest blessings. Like somebody said once, the higher you drop the ball, the higher it'll bounce back up. The harder the ball hits the ground, the higher it'll come back up. And so when you think about it, your lowest points are going to be setbacks that will set you up for a comeback. And so when you're down, your back is against the wall, when you dug yourself into a hole, when you feel insecure, when you feel like you have problems, when you feel like you're not in love with yourself, when you're at the bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's to the top. So no matter how bad you feel right now, 1, it could be worse. And 2, if you think that you're already at your worst, then you can only get better because you're already at 0. So you might as well start getting positive. Like that's the way you go about it. My flaws are something that make me me. Like I have a scar on my lip. I have crooked teeth. I actually have half my tooth is false. Like I got scars all over my body from football, from sports, from hitting my face on a telephone pole. Like so many stupid things that I've done that have made me me, and like the flaws that are lifelong. Like I got a scar on my ab because of a dog scratching me from like 2-3 weeks ago. Like there's so many flaws that I have that make me me, and I have to love those things because those are characteristics that only people that see me will identify as me, So like when people talk about me, they can say certain things that only they can say about me because that makes me who I am. So I have to embrace those flaws. I have to love those things that make me who I am. And so whenever I'm able to love those flaws, they're not flaws anymore. They're beneficial because I see them as benefits that make me who I am. And so when you change your perspective of who you are, you're able to change your habits to make yourself a better person. So rather than seeing myself as, okay, like like women, when they have flaws on their face, they take concealer. You queens don't need, like, I think that makeup is a beautiful thing. I think that makeup is a way of art. So I love art, and I think that that is a really cool aspect. But at the same time, I hate it because some women take it as a confidence booster because they're able to conceal the things that make them who they are, whether it's black rings around their eyes or baggy eyes or wrinkles or freckles. Like, don't do that, because that makes you who you are, and you're beautifully and wonderfully made. No matter what flaws you think you have, no matter what insecurities you think you have, those are what make you who you are. So you don't need something to cover them up. You don't need concealer to cover up your beauty. You're who you are, and you're made the way that you're supposed to be. So don't ever limit yourself and limit your idea of yourself because of the things that you think are societally ugly. I think that you're beautiful. I think that you're handsome. I think you're wonderful. And I think that you are made a certain way for a reason. And so you need to have that confidence in yourself, whether it's skinny legs, whether it's too big of arms, whether it's cellulite, whether it's baggy eyes, whether it's being too skinny, to being too fat. Like, embrace who you are. And if you don't like it, then develop it. If you think that you're too fat, then you can come to the gym. If you think that you're too skinny, then you can always eat more. Like, there's certain things that you can do to change yourself. And I'm not forcing that on you. I'm allowing you that access to your mental fortitude, that everything that you have in your life is able to be changed if you want it bad enough. If you want the thing bad enough to make it happen, then see it through. Because you're only limiting yourself. And you're only limiting yourself because you're insecure. And you need to build that confidence in yourself. So if you need to build that confidence, then make it happen. That concludes episode 19 of the YON show. That is Insecurities. Learn to love yourself. Learn to love your flaws. Learn to ask yourself questions about your self-awareness. Ask yourself, how are you feeling? Ask yourself, what motivates you? Ask yourself, what kind of things can I better? Or ask yourself, what are your strengths and your weaknesses? Build on your strengths. Let your weaknesses be there if they need to be there, but make your strengths even stronger. So that way you can identify the things that make you who you are and capitalize on those things. I love you all. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications so you know every single time I post. I love you, YON Dons. Have a great day today, and be sure to let everybody know what we're doing here at the YON Show. Peace!